What's up, everyone? This is the Batfan. Oops, I hit my shit. Uh, Here to talk to you guys about week 3 of the NFL. Week's over. Teams really stunk and teams were really good. And the one team that really did stink was the Denver Broncos. They get the award for that whole team really sucks. Was watching it, watched the first 2 quarters, and I gotta say, Sutton needs to be cut. Dude, he caught the ball and he fumbled twice while they were moving. And if they didn't fumble there, you don't know how the game would have turned out. It could have turned out a lot better. Well, who knows? But their defense, the Broncos' defense was horrific. They couldn't stop anything. I think Miami put up 70 points on them. 70. You know how hard that is in an NFL game to put up 70 points? The under hits more than the over in the NFL. That's how hard it is to score in the NFL, a pro football league. And the Denver Broncos let the Miami Dolphins put up 70. So that Bronco defense that was supposed to be good was a shame. I don't know what Peyton's gonna do, but they gotta fix it. That ship is leaking. And the thing about it is, 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks actually, Russell Wilson did not look bad. He didn't look bad at all. It's just your defense can't stop anybody, and you can't have turnovers by wide receivers. You can't fumble the ball, man. Fumbles just kill drive. Obviously, it kills drives, but it kills momentum. It's just like you could just see on the sideline when someone fumbles, they're just like the team has all the air taken out of them, which is crazy. Well, I was gonna end with that, but I guess I'll start. I started off with that. The Broncos. Let's get that out of the way. They gotta. I think they gotta win next week. They have to win. I'm not saying that they're gonna make it to the playoffs. I just mean for some team to morale, like have people play all week long or want to play all season. They need to win. They need to win. They gotta get it together. The Colts upset the Ravens this week. There was a lot of upsets this week. Minshew did his thing. Moss did his thing. The Ravens were missing 7 starters, mostly on defense, so I don't know if you want to take that with a grain of salt, but the Colts did upset them without their starting quarterback. So and they're number 1 in the AFC South, which is probably the worst division in football. That is very true. Then we have the Saints and the Falcons got brought down to earth. I really didn't think any of these teams were really that good. A lot of people were on the hype train for them. No. Those kids, that team, both those teams suck. Ritter is not a good quarterback. They can't get anything going if they can't run the ball. Like, if you think Ritter's going to drive down the field and score for you, well, that's crazy. That's not going to happen. If he has to throw the ball 10 times on a drive, you're not scoring a touchdown when needed. He's just not a good quarterback. Kyle Pitts is like, my career is dying in Atlanta. I need a quarterback. There were throws he missed to Pitts that were so bad. And I'm not saying this because I have Pitts on my fantasy team. I'm just saying Ritter just sucks. I never was a fan of Derek Carr, even though they were up 17-0, and people were like, oh, Jameis Winston is the reason why. No, Jameis Winston's not the reason why they lost. They had bad coaching. They couldn't get the ball down. They couldn't stop Green Bay the last quarter and a half. And when they finally did move the ball to win, the kicker missed. It had nothing to do with Jameis Winston. The team just stinks. That they're not a good football team. They weren't a good football team last year. They're not a good football team this year. Derek Carr is not an improvement from whatever quarterback they had last year. So, the Jags, they stink. They do. They barely beat the Colts. If it wasn't for that running back fumbling twice in that game, the Colts would have won that game. So the Jags, they came back down to earth losing to the Texans. They didn't just lose, they got smoked. They got smoked by the Texans. It was bad. It didn't look good. Nobody they couldn't get a stop on defense when needed. Their offense looked out of sort. I think Doug Peterson is going to take over calling the offense again. He is a good offensive coach, but they just did not look good from start to finish in that game. They had moments where they looked all right, but I didn't believe in the Jags, and I still don't believe in the Jags. I just think there's something missing on defense. Defense does win championships, and they don't got it, man. They just don't got it. The Bears are just a shit show. That this is just a waste of season again. I don't know how you can judge Field. He has had different offensive coordinators basically every year in the NFL, different head coaches. It was a badly coached game. I know they don't want to run him that much, but it's like you got to slowly change the offense. You can't just balls to the wall change the offense completely to him being a pocket passer. And the Chiefs are, they're on a roll. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. They get better as the year goes on. If you're gonna get the Chiefs, you're gonna get it now in the beginning of the season before they come together as a team. They come to New York. Is it Sunday night or Monday night? I forget if they're playing Sunday night or Monday night. But they come to New York against the Jets defense. It might be a low scoring game. Don't know. I know the Jets. They lost. Like I told everybody, New England is their daddy. They Bill Belichick just loves beating New York. He just loves sticking it to them. The Steelers beat, and I know the game was close but they beat up the Raiders. They physically manhandled those Raiders. They kicked the shit out of them. It was bad. It was a bad scene. Jimmy G's in the concussion protocol, so he's not going to play next week. And Brian Hoyer, what is this, like the New England reunion? He's the backup, so whoever they're playing, I'm going to put my money on them next week. The Bucks defense got exposed last night. If you watched the game, it was pretty bad. I watched the game. It did not look good for them boys. Their secondary is atrocious, and because they have to use their linebacker so much in coverage, it hurts their run defense. I know Davis was out, but Dean got knocked out, I think, in the second quarter. He didn't come back to the game. And the Bucks can't run the ball. They run a zone running system, and White is not a zone runner. He takes too long to hit the hole. I'm not a fan. He is good catching the ball out the backfield, but running the ball, like, he needs to be more sure. We can't run the ball. Teams just play coverage on us and rush the passer. Baker didn't look. I mean, other than his intercept, Baker didn't look that bad. Mike Evans looked good. Mike Evans always looks good. We need to pay that man, because if Bucks are going to be good next year or the year after, they need Mike Evans. That's what we need, Mike Evans. So just pay Mike Evans his money. Please, Tampa. Thank you. Bengals beat the Rams in probably one of the most boring football games I've watched this year. One of them. The Rams, they stink. The Rams, the Cardinals, and the Bears are going to be in the race for the number one. I don't care that the Cardinals beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys, did they get exposed? Maybe a little bit. I mean, it's just basic football. When you have a dominant pass rusher, like this is why Michael Parsons isn't the best defensive player in the NFL. Because Watt's the best defensive player because he's a pass rusher, but you can't run the ball at him. And basically, the Cardinals' game plan was we're gonna run the ball at Michael Parsons until they stop it, which the Cowboys didn't stop all game. Wherever Michael Parsons was lined up, the Cardinals ran the ball. Michael Parsons is a great pass rusher, but when it came to stopping the run, the Cowboys couldn't stop the run. And Dak Prescott's decision making was atrocious. Was absolutely atrocious that game. The Cowboys did not look good at all. They once the NFL sees something, every team's gonna attack them the same way until they stop it. And that's what's gonna happen with the Cowboys. Dak Prescott in the red zone made I think they were in the red zone 4 times, and all his decision making in the red zone was atrocious. It was absolutely the worst I have seen. College football, Florida State's ranked 5th, even though they won this week. They moved down the position from 4th to 5th. Ohio State, the Notre Dame game. I was betting with my heart, everybody. I don't. I told you guys that I was betting with my heart, but you know, Ohio State is 3 or 4, I think. Of course, Georgia still won. It was a good week in college football. Now this is where all the good teams will start playing good teams. I think Florida State plays Duke next week. I gotta look. Well, my tomorrow show will be more in depth about college football weekend coming up and the NFL slate for next week. This is just a quick recap. Look out for the short of, this guy really fucking sucks. This is the Batfan. I'm out.